Hey, are you getting ready to sell your home or list it on your own, and you are just having some questions about maybe what time management is like? You may assume, like many people, that selling your house is just as simple as taking a yard, sticking it in the yard, and it should sell itself. In this video, I'm not going to break down everything, but I'm going to break down the real time commitment that comes with selling your home. So get ready. Welcome back to my channel, guys. I'm King Jerome, and on this channel, I love to teach people like yourselves, homeowners who are looking to sell on their own, uh, for sale by owner, or whether you have your own reasons for doing it yourself and not hiring a realtor. Because I do believe that it's everybody's right to sell their own home on their own if they wish. So I want to start off right away with I got some points here that I'll be referring to throughout this. So if you see me look down, that's really what I'm just looking at in my notes. But I really want to just highlight from a high level area about the big myth that there is. And I mean with good reason. Most people assume that all a realtor does is just open the door for a couple of people, let them through, walk through the house, and then they get paid large amounts of money, to the tunes of thousands of dollars on average. An average commission check for, say, excuse me, a $200,000 to $300,000 house could be around between $6,000 to $8,000 of a commission check. Most people are not too pleased to have to pay that out for a realtor for simply just opening and closing a door for people to walk through. So there's some things that come with selling a home that's going to take up a lot of time. So the first one is, you know, calls and inquiries, right? Like this is going to be a breakdown of some of the things you need to make time for. You need to be available for calls because you can have a lot of people calling. Hey, is this home still available? Oh, when's a good time to go by and see it? Not everybody is calling at, say, normal business hours. You have some people who will call super late at night, sometimes people who call super early in the morning, and even on weekends. So when you're selling your house and you're doing it on your own, it's one of the reasons why some people go with a realtor. It's in order to save themselves on their time. So you have to be available for that. So we'll give that maybe 2 to 3 hours you should be available per day for phone calls. But again, there's no guarantee of when you're actually going to get those calls. Showings, it's one of the most important things for you to sell your home. It's for a person to be actually able to come through your house and look at it for themselves. Once in a while, you will have people who will put in an offer without seeing it first. I've had a few of those myself for my clients, and it always feels weird because, like, you feel like something can really go wrong really quick when they do this. But it happens sometimes, but not all the time. Not all the time. It's very important to be available, or at least to have somebody available that can open up your home for people to walk through it and take a look at it. Especially the faster you want it sold, the more available that you want that home to be. Another thing that you got to worry about is taking care of the paperwork. Negotiating with other people who are trying to buy on their own, which would be an ideal scenario for you because that way you're not paying out a buyer's agent commission either. Because even though I'm going off on a little tangent right here, if you are selling on your own and you have a buyer that's come through and they have an agent, 9 times out of 10 they are going to request you to pay a portion of their buyer's agent commission. So you may be saving some money on a commission for a realtor for your home to sell it, but there's a very, very, very good chance you'll be paying some commission for a buyer's agent. And a lot of people are okay with it. They're like, hey, if you bring me a buyer, sure, I'll pay you, a commission. No problem. But that's something that you need to be aware of. That negotiations and paperwork and things like that, that is something you need to be able to take time apart and dedicate to go through what are these offers saying? What are they actually saying? What are the little corners that maybe this buyer's trying to put me in to give themselves the best leverage for this deal? You know, you need to really be able to take some time to go through this. And I mean, there's a lot of tools nowadays that are very very helpful, like ChatGPT. ChatGPT, I use it personally a lot. And when you use, like, say, the pro version or even the paid version that's $20 a month, it gives you the ability to upload files. And what you can do, you can train ChatGPT to read through an entire offer that you received and point out to you areas where the buyer may be looking to get more leverage over you as a seller. That way you can go take a look at that. But at the same time, it's probably better for you to take it to an attorney to really go through it as well, because AI is really great, but I would say it does not replace the expertise and the experience of an attorney. Okay. And of a realtor at that. But if you're not using a realtor, the attorney is going to be the next best thing as well. Another thing you need to be available for are inspections and repairs. A lot of times, even if a buyer is not requesting any inspections to be done, and if they are doing an inspection and say they just want to inspect to see what's going on with this, but they're not looking for any compensation from you, you have to be aware whether or not they decide that they want an inspection or not. If they are using a lender, that lender is going to want some inspections done. Whether you're out in the country and you need to do some well testing for well water, or just general lead-based paint things. Um, every lender has some specific requirements that they want. If your buyer is using FHA, VA, USDA, those government-backed programs, there are very specific requirements that the government is going to require of that lender in order for the government to back that lender in case the buyer defaults. So the lender is going to make sure that you get those inspections done in order for them to approve. Well, when I'm saying you, the buyer, making sure the buyer gets those done. If those don't get done, it's just going to delay the closing, if not give them the ability to completely pull out. And as you guys may be aware, the longer your home sits on the market, the worse it starts to look to others like, oh, something must be really bad with the house because it's now been on the market for 3-4 months. So yeah, I could for sure lowball this house. It happens a lot, happens every day, and it's something for you guys to be aware of. So let's talk about some of the consequences that you can come across from just poor time management. And I mean, you still have a life. You still got to go to work. You still got a family to take care of if you have a family. Maybe you have pets. Maybe you have other hobbies and activities that require a lot of your time. Poor time management when it comes to selling your home in a timely fashion. Missed calls can be people who are interested in buying the house. You never picked up, they move on. You get inquiries and stuff from other buyers. If you don't respond back to them in a timely manner, they just might move on. It happens all of the time. And another thing as well, it's if you don't have a way to really sift out people who are not qualified, they don't have a pre-approval, and this will be very important for you, especially if you don't have someone else doing these things for you. You need to be able to sift out who can actually afford to go through this entire transaction if they decide to put an offer in. That way you're not constantly showing the house and taking time out of your day. Maybe you're using vacation time, maybe you're using PTO from work to come show the house to someone who's just window shopping. Wouldn't that irritate you? That would irritate me. And that is the reason why a lot of realtors will require people to have a pre-approval before they can even see a house, just to cut down on that crap right there. So some tips I want to give you um, with managing your time is putting everything on a calendar. Make sure everything's on a calendar. Open houses are something really good to do. So what you could do is, say you host something weekly, like a weekly open house. You blast that everywhere on social media, on your emails, to the people you know, printing out flyers, bring it out everywhere. On a day that you're available, say you make this for 3 to 4 hours long. A lot of realtors like to do an open house for maybe an hour and a half. A lot of times they're trying to go from one house to another. And other times it's more of a psychological thing where they're trying to um, it's a psychological thing where they're trying to get people to rush and get to this open house because they know it's about to close really soon. But give yourself like 3 to 4 hours, because you will have people to come through, and if you do this every single week, it's going to save you time, because now you only need to be there once a week, and that includes for other realtors and things like that, to schedule ahead of time. If you want to move your open house for a different day during the week, that's great as well. But this is all an option for you to have. Another thing that's going to be good is keeping a checklist for deadlines or a calendar. So during the transaction, you have a lot of stuff going on. I'm sure maybe you guys remember how that was, maybe not, depending how long ago it was that you bought your house. Usually got your inspection. If you do one, you got your appraisal. If you're using a lender, then you still got to, if you're not using any contingencies, then you just pretty much got to get to close, show proof of funds, and get things done. But the point of this, what I'm bringing all this up, is that there are certain due dates for every step in the process that needs to be done, right? So keeping track of all this stuff is going to help you stay organized. It's going to help you stay on track with where your buyer should be at. And if they start acting really squirrely, they start to seem pretty unreliable and things like that, and they miss any of these deadlines, you are giving yourself the opportunity to pull out of this deal scot-free. So that's some food for thought for you guys. If you guys have any questions about anything I talked about here, hopefully it wasn't too distracting, me trying to think through my thoughts. But I really hope this helps you guys out. And just be aware of the time commitment that this truly, truly takes. So make sure you check out my stuff down in the description below. There's a few things I like to offer my viewers there. So make sure you go check that out. And until then, guys, I will see you guys on the next one.